Back to another episode, guys. We have a very special guest today. Clap your hands for Zoe, everyone. Like round
Guys,
of applause.
do you want to like start off by telling us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do?
Sure. So, hi everyone. I'm Zoe. I feel like every time I answer this question, my answer changes, like what I do and whatever. But I guess at this point in time and what I'm up to currently, I would say like I'm doing a little bit of marketing and creative strategy. Um, but I guess if we're getting specific, I'm a personal assistant, sorry, for Alexa Losi, who you may know and love. She's great. Um, yeah, I'm doing that. I wear many hats. I do a little bit of makeup here and there, content creation, social media, which I'm sure we'll get into. I live in New York City and I'm a senior in college, um, which is kind of crazy because I feel like I've done so much for the level of, I guess, not success, but in a way, success. Um, so yeah, I feel like we'll get into more of what I do or
Oh,
don't.
100%.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's just a little bit of a base if you don't know me. If you do,
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So how old are you?
I'm 21.
You're 21?
I thought you were older.
I
Wait,
thought you were
guys, I
older
feel like I've
too.
literally known you since I was like 13.
Crazy.
Like not actually
We
13.
met, okay,
No.
wait. We met, what,
I
two
was a
years ago?
sophomore.
So yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah, I was
We
a
met in
sophomore.
Philly. For the
Mm-hmm.
first time because okay, so basically we met through Madison's fandom. I was a friend at the time with someone. We drove to Sabrina's show in Philly, super last minute, and we were literally like the 21 plus area, but we couldn't see shit like at all.
Mind you, I was like 19. So how did that even happen?
Literally. I
Like
don't
I was
know.
this big.
They like oversold tickets, like it was so bad.
So
But I mean, the show was amazing. She's incredible and I love her. But yeah, that was so long ago. Wow.
so long ago. Yeah.
But like when you like meet someone, you're like, okay, I vibe with you so quick. That's how it was for us, for
I
sure.
feel like that was how it was with like Amanda and I as well.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever it
I
was that
agree.
we like actually met, even
I
before
think,
that, we were kind of just like,
yeah. Like we vibed online, and then I think the first time we met was at like the Madison signing in New York, if I'm not like the book signing. Was that the first time we met?
That seems like kind of
I don't
recent
even
though.
know, yo, like my
that
dates are all
was
like
no
mixed
way we
up.
met for the first time a year ago.
Yeah,
Really?
That was
I
a
think
year
so.
ago.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I
That
think
was
so.
in
That's crazy. But
April.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
it feels like we've known each other for a lot longer.
Yeah.
Wait, I know I'm like mind blown right now.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy. And I feel like I've known like different versions of you. So getting into that, when I had you on my podcast a while ago, you were doing music. What kind of made you pivot to like personal assisting and stuff? And funny enough, for Alexa, her two personal assistants before you in LA, I actually know them as well.
Oh
So
my God.
I've known like basically most of her personal
That's really
assistants. So how did
funny.
you like pivot into that?
Well, okay, so like Amanda said, the last time you would have seen my face associated with Amanda online was her podcast, and we were talking about like me getting into music and this song that I was going to release and like this whole thing. And we had this whole thing planned, and I was doing my own marketing, and it was like actually going to go somewhere. Um, Shortly after that, it was actually 2 years ago, or yeah, 2 years ago today is when my producer told me that I owed him money for the song. And the amount of money he threw at me was like the most bizarre price I had ever heard in my life as like an 18-year-old or 19-year-old who had no point of reference. And I was under the impression that this man was like working with me. Sorry, there's sirens. Welcome to New York. Um, for free or not for free, which like sounds a little bit stupid, but like when you don't really have a point of reference in the music industry, you don't really know.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
when I like this person wanted to work with me, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna be famous. I was like, thank God, like it's my time. Um, and then yeah, he kind of just like threw a number at me, and I was like, well, that's way out of my budget. I didn't have $2,000 to throw at this man for a track that um honestly meant so much to me. Like I was working on it for like months and months and months. And I think that kind of just like made me realize that like, okay, I tried writing music after that and I tried working with other people and nothing really did it for me. And I was kind of like, you know what? Maybe this is my sign that this isn't the right path for me.
Mm.
But I've always liked social media. I would never say that I was like an influencer, but I've always kind of like networked with influencers and like been very friendly with a few of them. That kind of just like made me realize that like I want to work in their area, but like behind the scenes. A lot of my friends like James and Lorray would always tell me like you're a marketing genius. And I was like, wait, you're right. And then I like switched my major to marketing right after my music thing happened. And not that I really feel like I learned much in school. I feel like I was always doing marketing without realizing I was doing marketing. Um,
Mhm.
and of course, like there's not really a lot of money in like student level marketing. So I picked up a waitressing job, and that's actually how I met Alexa Losi. Um,
Okay.
I was waitressing her table at Ruby's, and she had asked me, she was like, what blush are you wearing? And I was like, oh, it's an unreleased product, like you don't have it. And she's like, no, like try me. And I had no idea who she was. Um, I'd like seen her like when I like did my research following that, and I was like, "Oh, I know who you are." Um, but she was like, "Try me." And I was like, "It's this brand." And she's like, "I have that." And I'm like, "Well, no, you don't have that. Like that's unreleased." And she's like, "No, I'm friends with the person who made it." And I'm like, "Well, I'm friends with the person who made it." She's like, "What? You know so and so?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "I was just at his house." And I was like, "I was just at his house." And basically we like had this whole like epiphany, and she texted the person was like, oh my God, she's so smart, like you should hire her. And then Alexa was like, what are you doing tomorrow? Do you want to come help me film a brand deal? And I was like, yeah, okay. Like she was like, I'll pay you what I pay my personal assistants in LA. I just like I'm debating if I want to move to New York. And I was like, okay, great, like send me your number. We exchange contact information. I look her up at the end of my shift to find out that she has like over 500,000 followers, which is like a lot of followers. And I didn't
Yeah.
know like who I was talking to. Um,
Yeah.
and so I went the next day and we filmed for Marc Jacobs, and she was like, come up with a brand deal, like brand brief based off of like whatever they're sending us. You're gonna go pick this up, this, that, and find me a good location to film. And we did. And she literally hired me on the spot. She was like, you're amazing. Like, I need you to be here full time when I move to New York, like after being in Paris over the summer. Um,
Wow.
and I've been with her since April. So I quit my waitressing job.
That's so cool.
It's
Like
very new.
honestly, what a yeah, I was gonna say what a small world because like New York is
Mhm.
literally so big.
It's
But
huge.
yeah, like that's crazy. Good for
Yeah.
you, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah. It was like I know Ariana like said in a Wicked interview that it was like a cosmic collision.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like literally what it was for Alexa and I. Like we met and I was like, oh my God, this is about to like change my life. And I have had so many like opportunities already just from like
Hmm.
ever since April. And I'm always kind of like worried for some reason that like I'm gonna be post grad and like looking for jobs and trying to find different things. And she like reassures me, like, Zoe, I got you. Like you're gonna be fine. And I'm like,
Oh.
okay, I can breathe. Thank you. It's very reassuring. But yeah, that's how I met Alexa, which is honestly a very, very New York kind of meeting. I feel like that doesn't really happen
Hmm.
in, like LA, or like what are the odds that it happens like anywhere else besides New York or LA? But I feel like in LA, people are not that nice.
No.
Yeah.
And like for some reason I still want to move there, but like I just feel like that would not have happened in LA, you know?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel
no,
like
I
people
feel
are
that
more
too.
talkative in New York. LA, people are more like reserved or like kind of superficial. Like if they don't know you, they don't want to talk to you type of thing. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
For sure. Yet I still love it. Like I want to move.
No, I
Wait,
love
like
it too.
same.
Wait, like should we all move in together, guys?
Wait, let's like get a house.
Let's just
Wait, I'm
buy a house there. With
wait.
what money, I don't know, but
But the thing is, the rent that I pay in New York is so crazy. Like when I went to stay
Yeah.
like a year ago in LA with my friends who lived in the hills, or was it the hills? The valley, sorry. I don't really know.
yeah, it's kind of like, yeah.
I don't really know it. Like people are like, I don't understand New York. I'm like, girl, it's so easy. But like they'd probably say the same thing to me about LA. But
Mm.
when I stayed in the valley in LA with my friends, they were telling me how much they pay. And I was like, are you kidding? You guys pay like 800 less to have an apartment that's 2 floors, like in unit washer dryer. I know it sounds crazy, but like we don't have that here. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
Jeez.
I'm like, I fucking hate New York. Like I love it. But like I live in a shoebox. I don't have real walls. Like, and I pay double what they pay. Like that's crazy.
That's
New York rent is
insane.
crazy. Like I still want to move there in the next few years. But whenever I look at the rent, I'm like, I just need to be like rich. Like I need to find like a sugar daddy or something and like that'll pay my rent because it's disgusting.
It's really, really tricky, like finding a place that's like worth your money, but also like knowing what is like worth your money.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
after living in an apartment with no in unit, washer dryer, like a fake bedroom, like in New York, we have something called flex walls. They're like really, really popular here. Um, I can show you my walls. They don't go to the ceiling.
Oh,
So
okay, yeah.
that's my wall, and that's my roommate's room.
Oh my God. So you hear
So
everything.
everything.
Uh,
Um, it's insane. Um, if I were to go apartment hunting again, I would for sure have to have a real bedroom, or I would have to have a contract that said my flex walls went to the ceiling because
Hmm.
I won't do this again and I will not have no washer dryer. Like
Yeah,
I have way too many clothes. Like my clothes are everywhere. They're like spilling out of my closet.
literally
It's
me.
yeah.
there's not enough space. We share a closet too. So
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
yeah, New
Honestly,
York.
that'd be so hard. Even living with a roommate, I've like lived alone basically my whole life. So like, I couldn't do that, to be honest.
It's a lot. It's a lot of like making sure, you're vibe checking yourself because you are sharing a space with
Yeah.
someone. Like, I go out, you guys know me. Like I'm out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe even Monday. Okay. So I'm home to my roommate who doesn't go out, doesn't really drink, doesn't party. And I'm like getting home at 3, 4 in the morning in my heels. I'm like undressing in the hallway
Yeah.
because the second I open that door, she can hear it.
Yeah.
Right.
Or it's like a living room. We don't even have a living room. We have like a 5 by 8 living room. It's not even a living
Wow.
room.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, New York it's rough. You either have a
Hmm.
big bedroom with no living room and probably no kitchen, or you have a living room that's really big with like a shoebox bedroom.
Yeah. It's crazy.
But
That is crazy. Wait, speaking of going out, I want to hear some of your like craziest or like funniest like going out stories. Because girl, I know you and I know you have some crazy stories.
okay. God. So I feel like my craziest story would have to be like there's like two that I can think of about like going out. One
Mhm.
would be when I first got my job at the restaurant I was working at. It was literally my first day. My first day. Like I was basically getting paid training hours, not even pooled in. Okay. First day. And my coworker, who I had thought was very cute. Let me just tell you, if you've worked in hospitality before, for anyone listening, or like either of you, if you work in a restaurant and you don't have a work crush, your shifts are miserable. You need to like someone. Like you need to like host someone in the kitchen. You got to have a thing for someone. I'm sorry, there needs to be a little flirt because hospitality without that is miserable. Like just something to keep in mind, okay? So I get to my job and I'm like, I already know you're gonna be my work crush. Like you are going to be my work crush. I just like fucking knew it. Sometimes you just know, okay? Of course, I'm closing. They make you do like the bitch work, right? Because you're closing. So they're not gonna make the servers who are getting pulled into the tips do the shit work and all the bitch work because there's someone who's gonna do it for free. Okay.
Mhm.
This man who I had eyes for, right before we're about to close, comes up to me and he's like, so what do you do? And I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm like, what do I do? So, of course, we're flirting. He asks for my Instagram and he gets off an hour before me and he fucking waits for me.
Stop.
He waits for me. And what do? We go out after, right? We go out. Okay. So, maybe this isn't the craziest party story, but this is very like New York-esque.
Mhm.
Go out for drinks. It's kind of a vibe, like whatever. He tells me he forgot his card.
Oh, stop.
Not
I
that.
pay for drinks. And one thing about me, I don't know if this is just like how I choose to carry myself. Like, I don't even really like when men pay for things in general. Like, it kind of like skeeves me out a little. Like, on a date, different
Okay.
story. But like, I just like, I've dated guys where like, I'll be like, oh my God, I need like a vitamin water. And they'll take me to 7-Eleven and like try to pay for it. I'm like, okay, babe, I'm good.
I got
Like,
it.
I'll be all right. Okay. And they're like, why would you do that? I'm like, why would you do that? I don't know. Sorry. People may disagree with me, but I just, whatever. It's not like a
No, I
power
feel
contest.
that.
Like it's a personal thing. Um, but if I'm out for dinner or drinks and a guy's like, you want to split the check? I'm like, babe, I will fucking Apple Pay right now. I don't need you to split the check with me. There is no splitting a check. Okay, so I pay for drinks, right? I tap it. We're using Toast, the POS system. Okay. I pay for fucking drinks. He's like, so now what should we do? I'm like, well, babe, we're going back to mine. What are you talking about? What are we gonna do? We're going back to mine. So
Wait, sorry to interrupt, but how old was he?
he's older than me. He might be 24.
Okay.
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 He might be 25, but he's
You're like,
not.
he might be like 30.
No, he's not 30. He definitely is like not older than 24 or 5. There's no way.
Okay.
I
Okay.
would be, but yeah. So he comes back to mine, and you know, we're my roommate wasn't here. So
Well, that's
we're
good.
sitting
Yeah,
in
with
the
the walls.
we're sitting well, trust I've had a man over while she's been here before, probably 3 or 4 times now. So we're past that point. But we're sitting in the living room, not living room, because I don't have a fucking couch. I have swivel chairs. And things are happening. Okay. Right. That was like post
Mhm.
going out. I end up bringing him to my room and he tells me that it wasn't working for him. So now I'm like, well, fuck. This is my first day of work and I'm gonna have to see this man every other day. And he just
Yeah.
he couldn't get it up because of me. So I'm like, we're literally fucked. Um, I'm like, dude, you're good. Like, don't worry, it's fine. Like, you're good. I'm like, you're literally so fine. Okay, we end up going to work again the next day. The man won't even look at me.
Oh my
Oh,
Oh
god.
my gosh, I hate that.
he won't look at me. I'm like, what the fuck did I do wrong here? Okay, like literally, what did I do? Because I brought you to mine. You willingly came. I mean, listen, it's not like I was like, you have to come to my apartment. No, he was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk you
Mhm.
home. I was like, no, you're gonna walk me home. You're gonna come inside. You're gonna stay over. That's what you're gonna do. Like, I'm not stupid. But I end up working with him. And then, of course, hospitality, you go out with your coworkers. So I had gone out with my coworkers a few times, like following that. And of course, he goes and he's hooking up with our other coworkers in front of
Stop.
me, in front of me, like 3 of them. And then I go to Greece because I'm Greek. I was in Greece. Okay. I go to Greece. All of the girls he had hooked up with, who I befriended first, unfollowed me,
Oh my god.
including him, by the way, including him. Everyone unfollowed me at this point. So I get back from Greece and I'm like, you know, the TikTok town that's like, hey,
Yes.
Yeah.
that's literally me. I walk back into this restaurant the first day back from Greece. I am like so zen too because I've just been on an island for a month.
Yeah.
So tan. I'm literally like
Oh, yeah.
the most zen I could ever fucking be. And the man disturbs my peace. I can't. So now I can't ever go out with those people. I'm miserable at work, but then things turn around for me, okay? Because the next week, a woman comes in to my job, and long story short, she ends up being my sugar mommy.
I love.
I serve her table. It all starts at my job. I'm telling you, like
Yeah, I
waitressing,
think I
like
might need to move and work there.
it's not even like my job. The amount of people that like I'm friends with who are like, oh, I serve Vinny Hacker. Like, oh, I'm serving like Noah Beck, also Vinny Hacker. I just met him last week. He's like the nicest guy ever. But yeah, I ended up like having this amazing woman who's like not really my sugar mommy, but like kind of is, but like not really. We went on a shopping spree. We went to Danielle Guizio. Like Miu Miu
Zoe,
sunglasses.
okay.
I mean, I'm telling you, like, my life might not be so insane in like the partying aspect, except for like every time I go out with my best friend Olivia, we go on a double date and we two man, like every time. Not like a foursome, but like
Oh,
we go out with like best friends. That's like our
yeah,
thing.
Love that.
Like, we meet guys out and we go out with the two of them. And like
yeah.
this is a reoccurring thing. Like I
So
could send you a picture of like every double date or like two man.
Wait, two mans are crazy when like one person is like really into it and then the other isn't, and you're just like, oh, I have to do this for my friend. Oh,
Well,
I can't.
we have, oh my God, you guys are gonna literally think I'm crazy. Well, I am crazy, so it's fine.
It's okay.
Saturday,
We are too. We are too.
right. Saturday, we have two double dates back
Oh
to
my
back.
God.
We have two. We have two double dates.
Honestly, that's how you do it.
I mean, come on, like we have to be double booked. And also
100%.
like I feel like going out is so overrated. Like my life sounds crazy, but the craziness does not stem like from going out. It stems from like meeting
Mhm.
people who will like
Mhm.
then take you out. But like the
Mhm.
craziness doesn't come from clubbing. I feel like clubbing is like
Yeah.
pictured to like be this crazy thing
Yeah.
and like it's so not. It's just like you're either like drunk out of your mind or like
Yeah.
not drunk and doing other things, which I don't partake in. Um, or you're sober. And it's like, why would you be fucking sober at a club? Like you're at a club in New York City. If you're sober clubbing, stop going clubbing.
I feel like it depends on the person though, because like if I went out with you guys and I was sober, no, I would match your vibe a
That's
hundred
true.
percent.
That's very true. I mean, like I have like gone out with like Larray a few times and he'll take me out when he's here. And when I go out with him, I am like the most lit I've ever been and I can be the most sober.
Yeah, no,
Mhm.
he seems so fun.
He's crazy.
Yeah,
He's so fun.
it's
Like
so funny.
he is very fun. But you'd be shocked a lot of like influencers that you think are gonna be like the best time ever are
Mm,
so boring. They're so
really?
boring.
Literally.
They're
I've met
literally
people
Wait,
and I'm
drop
like,
names,
you are
drop
not
names.
the same like you are online.
names can
Literally.
be texted but not dropped. It's very, very weird. Like I will like meet many people who I don't think are the way they are online at all, and they honestly are better in person. And then I'll meet people who like are worse in person. And
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, like you just
Yeah.
like crushed the dream. Like you have like such a high space in my mind and like I give you so much credit because I think your work is amazing and then I meet you and I'm like, oh my God, you're literally the most boring person ever.
Yeah. And then you can never look at them the same anymore once you see their stuff.
Never. I'll see them on my For You page and I'm like, skip. I try to like remind myself like if they're not there for a meet and greet, they don't really owe you their like best version of
A
themselves.
Mhm.
100%.
A little bit crazy to think that like people can't just be the best version of themselves like at all
All the
times.
time.
Honestly,
Right.
I try to be and like I don't have a huge platform. Like I
Yeah.
and trust me, like at any like driver era concert, people come up to me I mean, and I'm sure you guys experience the same thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
people like come up to you, and I know there's like this narrative on like Stan Twitter that's like, don't be a fan of fan accounts, but like, I'm sorry, that exists.
Yeah, it
Like
does.
people are going to do that to you because naturally it's like a pyramid. If your favorite artist is up here and their favorite fans are here, and then you're gonna be like in that section of like not super active, you don't really like get to, you know, go to a lot of shows and go to meet and greets and go meet your favorite people all the time. It's like you're obviously going to look up to those people who do those things. Like
Mm-hmm.
That
I
is
I
true,
think
yeah.
it's not like a bad dynamic. Like people like to make it seem like it is. And in reality, like it's not. And
Mm-hmm.
there's a reason like your favorite artists like these fans because we have great conversation, we have genuine bonds, not like a parasocial like relationship. Like
Mm-hmm.
no,
Yeah.
these artists take the time to get to know us and they talk to
Yeah.
us. Like so yeah, obviously that's going to be showcased and people are going to see that and they're going to like put you on a pedestal. Like that isn't rocket science to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Yeah.
like that like for me when I was like on like James Charles Stan Twitter and people would see time and time again that like I would get invited to meet and greets and he would meet me when he was in New York. I'd go to LA and everyone was like, "Oh, they're in a cafe. They're not in a Morphe meet and greet." Like obviously that's
Yeah.
planned. And people would see that and it's like, "Yeah, you're on a tour bus. You don't live or work on the tour bus. You were
Mm-hmm.
obviously in conversation with
Yeah.
this person to plan that." So it's
Right.
like, why do people treat it like it's such a bad thing? Like that's so crazy to me. Like artists are allowed to have favorites, and I hate when they say they don't because they do. And like
Yeah. And it's just
that's
like normal.
it's
Like I don't know,
normal.
like you said, like if they bond with like someone, why wouldn't they like continue
Right.
to try and like get to know them? Because at the end of
Right.
the day, like we're all humans and like
It's also
Yeah.
it's
like
connection
put
type of thing.
yourself put yourself in like their shoes, right? Like let's say like you were this pop star and you had these two or three fans and the fans were best friends and they traveled everywhere and you knew they were there and you had the opportunity to speak to them outside of like a 2 second long meet and greet and you
Yeah.
want to talk
Yeah.
to them like yeah, like that's not a crazy concept. Like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
favoritism is like, yeah, okay, like maybe to someone who's not involved in it, it might suck, but like at the end of the day, like projecting your disliking for that is never going to get you there. And
Yeah.
there's nothing you can
That's
do
true.
besides be yourself to get to that point. And
Mm-hmm.
it honestly, people like set themselves up on Twitter when they're like, they don't have favorites. I'm like, no, you guys are fucking stupid because they do. And talking poorly about an artist like continuously forming a deeper relationship with these favorites in question, you look like a hater. And you're never gonna
Mm-hmm.
be
Yeah.
never gonna
Like
Yeah.
it
be
shouldn't be seen as a bad thing that like someone wants to like get to know people that
there's
like
nothing
their
wrong with
music and connect with them.
Hmm.
and these people in like power, if not power, but like with the following, like the celebrities,
Mm-hmm.
influencers, whatever it is, like they're normal people.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they don't picture themselves as this like higher up, you
Yeah.
know? They think of it as like, "Oh, I really like you. We have great conversation." And like
Mm-hmm.
also, if you had a fan and you were in that position, you would do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's the difference. And that's what separates like the fans who have more interactions with the fans that don't. Cause like I don't even like consider myself like a fan anymore. Like I'm not on Stan Twitter. I'm not like was never really like involved in that way. But like I don't put her on a pedestal and
Right.
they still do. That's
Right.
the
Mm-hmm.
difference. Because
Right.
like she obviously sees the genuine like connection there with
Mm-hmm.
like just human to human, and they see
Right.
her as like artist to fan.
Right. Right.
So that's like huge right there.
I think people need to stop waiting for like the artist to initiate that and like
Yeah.
you kind of propose like that kind of environment to them they like it's a little bit like shocking how quickly they like accept it, you know? Not that
Mhm.
there's like a trick
Yeah.
to like doing it because there's not like a recipe to follow. Like it's if
Right.
you are like genuinely yourself and you feel a genuine like love and connection for this person, express that. Like, and I feel like people go into meet and greets and like say the wrong things all the time and like wonder why the artist like DMing them like, I love you, come on my tour bus. Like, babe, you just had a meet and greet where you asked him to say hi to Rebecca.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, literally. Or like the people that go into meet and greets and like they're like crying and hyperventilating, like no shade to that, like if that's how you react, but like I don't think I would personally be like, yeah, come on my bus or whatever if someone's like hyperventilating in my face because
Never.
there's just like no connection there in that.
No.
Like I'm not trying to be like rude to people that do that, but like I probably did that
Mhm.
with like
Wait,
Bieber, but
no,
like
no shade. You guys know, do you guys know Kensington, like the makeup TikToker?
Oh, I
yes.
love her. Yeah.
Oh, I met her the other day and she is like, I don't know what it is about me. I have like only ever like stand men besides Madison, I guess she's like the only like girl that I've ever like
Mm-hmm.
stand. Um,
Mhm.
and I have literally made TikToks like following Kenz's makeup routine, like TikToks that are like anything you like say to buy, I buy. Like I have posted things.
Mm-hmm.
She has never interacted with me online. I don't know what it is, but I met her the other day and she is like literally like my Super Bowl. I don't know what it is about her. I've like DM'd her on Instagram. Like, she is the only person that I've ever like fanned out over. I have never met a famous person and cried. I have never met an influencer and cried. I have never cried. I nearly cried when I met her. I was literally about to be in tears. She got me through quarantine. She taught me so much about like confidence and she's talked about her family issues and things like that. And things like I guess like in that area are like in my
Mm-hmm.
wheelhouse, especially because she like talk about it while she does makeup and makeup is so comfortable,
Mm.
whatever. But when I met her, I looked at her and I was like, forgive me, I could cry right now. And she was like, "Wait, don't cry. Like, I'm not worth the tears." And I was like, "No, you are worth everything. Like, I would give you my kidney." Like,
No.
I love her. And I think that like it's important to remember that like these people have people they like idolize as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mhm.
as to almost every celebrity, like you're gonna meet someone who like has a favorite artist and like Billie Eilish meeting Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Madison having favorites, like things like that. Like Kensington talks about her love for Taylor Swift and Lady Gaga. And like when I went up to her, I was like, no, dude, you are my Taylor Swift. Like this is like I've dreamt of this for years. Like if you look at our Instagram DMs from 2020, I've told you you're my comfort TikToker and like would die for you. It's like there are also ways to go about that. Like I
Yeah.
didn't cry. I don't think it would have made a difference if I cried because like giving them that comparison of like, no, dude, you are my like Super Bowl, it
Mm-hmm.
kind of
Mhm.
makes them realize that like, oh my God, like
Yeah.
this person, like I mean so much to them and like your support means so much to me that like there is already a bond formed.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Especially when like you're connecting with the person as like a person and not just like their talent. Cause like
Correct.
Madison, for example, like I say I'm not a fan. I'm like I obviously love support her music. I love her. But like
Mm-hmm.
I love her, like as a person.
Right.
That's like why I like connected with her in the first place. You know what I mean?
Right. Which is sweet
But
because like I'm sure she would say the same thing about you. Like
thank
she
you.
loves both of you like as a person. Like because
Yeah.
when you eliminate the talent aspect, you're just people.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. And that's how I see everyone. So like yeah, I just like it makes sense. But yeah, people who like get angry at that, it just
People that
confuses
tell me to kill
me for
myself
sure.
because
It's
Oh
Madison
my
said
gosh.
hi to me one day, like what do you want me to do about that actually?
it's
Like,
jealousy.
yeah.
Oh,
It's the same thing
100%.
with like I'm very good friends with like and you know what? This is a topic that people need to like speak about more because if you're on Stan Twitter and you are we're gonna say fan favorite. That's what we're gonna call the word of
Mm-hmm.
like the Stan fan favorite, right? Or the fandom favorite. You're the fan favorite of Ethan Dolan. and you're the fan favorite of Lady Gaga, you're friends. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Some fucking how, even though the two of you have no correlation, if you are the fan favorite, you are friends with the other fan favorites. It's just how it goes. I
Mhm.
was like befriending like left and right different people because I was like the ringleader of whatever fandom it was. And like you are just genuinely like you just become friends with people because you just get it.
Yeah.
And like you
Yeah.
know what it's like to have people like try to befriend you to like get to that person. And it's like,
Mhm.
the Lady Gaga
Mhm.
is not trying to do that. It's like
Yeah.
that's how like I formed so many relationships.
Right.
But the point of that was there were a lot of like Olivia Rodrigo fans that her like HQ and team would consistently invite her events, and people were so mad. And I'm like,
Mm.
you guys posting how angry you are is never going to get you an invite. It is never going to get you
Exactly.
an invite. It is never going to do it. The best piece of advice I would give you is befriend that fan account, be a good friend, genuinely, and maybe if you're a good person online and you're not shitting on those 5 girls who are, by the way, the nicest people ever. And if you think that the HQ is fully in charge for inviting the same people over and over again, you're fucking wrong. It's the artist. Like,
Yeah.
I have news for you.
Right. 100%.
I have news for you. I have fucking news for you. If they're doing a Zach Sang listening thing and these same 5 stands were invited to her last thing, guess who invited them? I have news. It's not the HQ. It's
Yeah.
the artist who requests their presence. So when you get online and you shit on these people, you're never gonna get invited.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah, because
craziest
they think that
concept.
the artist won't see it, and like most times they'll see it
They
and
see
they won't like want to like I don't know, like form a relationship with somebody
it,
that is shitting on people that they genuinely like.
like, and you guys have
You know what
experienced
I
firsthand.
Well, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I actually haven't gotten any of like the like what Amanda gets, especially for like that space that
Oh my
happened.
God.
She got death threats, and someone who wasn't even like a host on it also was getting death threats. Allegedly. I don't even know because that person was a liar. Yeah, I think it's also because though I joined Stan Twitter. I made a Twitter when like everyone else was already on it and they knew each other. Like I didn't know anybody and I was never like I want to be on here. I was just on there to be added onto a group.
Right.
Um
Yeah, Lauren, I had to ask you to
but
follow back after we met. That's how you
oh,
know.
100%. Like I'm just
You
not
were
on
not,
there.
you were not
Which
there. Like
no, I was not there.
I was like, hey, this is really embarrassing, but like this is my 6th time following you on Twitter.
Oh my gosh, so
We're in
so
the back of a car together. We had the best
we got
night
Taco
ever.
Bell together.
We
Uh,
literally were at Taco Bell, like running through the streets of
you
Philly,
showed me your tits.
pouring rain. I remember that night. So we're like sitting in a parking lot. Like the guy that I
Yeah.
was in love with from my job previously had finally like hit on me. And I'm making you take pictures of like all the Snapchats.
Oh my God.
We're literally having this like
That's
fucking
so fun.
amazing like relationship that just formed. And I was like, you're gonna be my best friend. Like I
Just
know we
formed.
do. And I was like, by the way, can you follow me back on Twitter?
No,
It's so
literally.
funny.
So yeah, I guess because of that, nobody like knew who I was. So they're like, okay, we're not gonna hate on her, but like they're gonna hate on Amanda. Like it's
That
just
was
annoying.
scary. That was the
I
worst
was
it's ever
scared for
been.
you.
That was
So
crazy, but
I mean, I've had that happen with like Ariana Grande fans, like, which is crazy because I think it was all rooted in their hate for James Charles. Because at the time, I like
Oh.
had like a stan account for Ariana and James, and Ariana had just followed me, and Ariana hated James, like hated. It was the most bizarre thing. Like she did not like him. I don't know.
Right.
She followed him on Instagram. Her stans freaked out on Twitter and made her unfollow him, and she did. And then James called her the rudest he'd ever met, which is just like never. But I think that like artists who do listen to their fans on Twitter in that way, like it's kind of fucked up because let's say like Madison received all these tweets about like Amanda and like unfollowed her to please people.
Right.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
like, do you really care that much? Like it's your
Yeah.
life. Like your
Yeah.
fans will suck it up and they're gonna stand you no matter what. You're Ariana Grande.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I got added to a FaceTime call with someone who like were either of you like Ariana stans?
Oh, I mean 100%, just not on Twitter.
So I'll say a name, just make sure you bleep it. But she has a friend named they were best friends, and this you can put in. I got added. I don't know how they got my phone number, back when group FaceTime had just become a thing.
Oh my God.
I got added to a FaceTime call with like probably 10 to 15 of her like big fans, like the fans, like people that she
Mhm.
spoke to, like followed on Instagram, like they were like the shit. They add me
Mhm.
time, cameras off. And this one specific person, I was probably 13, maybe 14, right? I'm a child, okay? I'm 14 years old. And
Mhm.
probably 18 or 19-year-old is like, Zoe, when are you gonna learn how to do your makeup? Like, honestly, your concealer never looks good. Like, do you even wear concealer?
Oh my gosh.
He was like, and he was like, I need to drop the Facetune. Like, we all know you're really fat.
Uh,
Straight up. Everyone's hysterical laughing.
That's so fucked up.
I could not believe because then I took that as like, well, Ariana's giving them permission to do that.
Oh, 100%.
She must hate me. I'm hearing things. She doesn't like James. So I'm like, this makes sense. Like, she's probably like laughing about it with them, which I don't think
Mhm.
she was. I just like didn't really know better. And
mhm.
they were so fucking mean. Like, there are really mean people like who are given power. And like,
Yeah.
it's the craziest thing. And they think that there's no ramifications because they can get away with it. But like, can you imagine if like we started a space and spoke about fans that like the artists don't know the way that they did that to me? Like, and the
Mhm.
way they did that to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Imagine if we did that. If
Yeah.
somebody says the wrong thing on Twitter, there are threads made about them as long as they have followers. Okay. Nobody cares about people
Yeah.
who don't have followers, right? So if somebody made like a cancellation thread on Twitter after like one of the like bigger fan accounts did that, oh my God, you're done. You're
Yeah.
Mhm.
done. But they
Yeah.
don't give a shit when people like are straight up bullies and they don't have followers. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's so
That is
crazy.
Mhm.
They want to
yeah.
take you down so bad.
Yeah.
And
Social
it's
media
terrible.
is like a fun but scary place all in one.
Well, I mean, it kind of goes to show that like I almost wish that like I didn't have Twitter
Hmm.
because like
Mhm.
Lauren said, like you didn't even have it. Like you didn't need it to
Mhm.
like
Oh no.
be where you were. And it's like it
And
doesn't
that's what also makes me like happy knowing that she likes me for me. I mean,
correct.
I wasn't on there like up her ass. I was just posting
Yeah.
pictures that literally every angle of her also was like so fucking good. And she asked me for those pictures. That's essentially how it happened.
Right.
But yeah, I wasn't on there like that. But I don't know. People who have like you said, like that power, it just like gets into their heads and like even like I know people who even like in the Madison fandom like talk shit about her, or I've heard
Hmm.
of people, but then like she is still like friends with them or
Because she
think.
doesn't know.
Yeah, she doesn't know. And so that like makes me really like sad. But
I mean, it's honestly always like everyone's like own fans who are like the biggest problem.
Yes.
Um,
yeah.
especially like for the driver era, like that is like a thing that I see all the time. I'm like, it's literally their own stands who are like setting them up
Hmm. Yeah.
time and time again. Like I constantly see things and I'm like, do you guys think that like they're gonna want anything to do with you if you're
Right.
like bullying their music and like when they're I don't know if you guys probably don't keep up with them at all, but like that's like my
Yeah.
thing. But like
Yeah.
when their album Summer Mixtape came out 2 years ago, the entire Twitter fandom was like, this is terrible. This sucks. This sucks. This sucks. They went on tour. They didn't play a single song from the album. They were doing a summer mixtape tour and they played like 2 singles that came out before the
Mhm.
album that people liked.
Mhm.
And it's just like, it goes to show that like they see what you say.
Yeah.
They see
For
it.
sure.
You're going to their show. So if you're shitting on their album on Twitter that they put their blood, sweat, and tears into, they're not going to play it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like that sucks. Like at my show for my birthday, like in April, last April, like April 30th. Like I should fucking tattoo it on my wrist. Um, I asked Ross to play a song that they've never played from the album. And he was like, "Really? Like you want to hear Be Happening?" And I was like, "Yes, dude, it's my favorite song." During the song, me and my best friend Nicole are singing it. It's kind of like how you guys are. Like we'd always go, Nicole and I went to like their shows back when they were R5, and then we go into meet and greets together. If
Mhm.
you've seen like my meet and greet pictures with them, it's like me and another girl, that's
Oh,
Nicole.
yeah, mhm.
Yeah. And we'll always like be on barricade front and center together. And we're singing the song, and Ross is like, "Holy shit, someone knows it." And I'm like, "What the hell, dude? Of course we know it." Like he's coming up to us, he's like, "Wow, like this is that song she requested earlier. It's called Be Happening. We've never played it before." I'm like, dude, it
That's crazy.
sucks. Like it's really like their own fans that are like
Yeah.
everyone's own fans that are
It
like shitting
really is.
everything going on
And
with like
it's
sorry, go
sorry, I
on.
was gonna say it's sad because, like, at the end of the day, when you're just thinking about, like, career-wise and not, like, them as people, they have well, they don't have to, but in order to maybe, like, grow, they have to be nice to people, and so if
Right.
people come in who they know they, like, talk shit on Twitter about them, but
Mhm.
they have to be nice to their face.
They have to,
Yeah.
They have to.
especially in like a paid meet and greet.
Right.
And
'Cause,
I
like
will say
yeah, that's crazy. Sorry.
artists know their fans. Like,
Oh,
Mhm.
don't think for a second they don't. And this is something people I think need to be reminded of. Like, think about this. If you're walking down the street and you go into a bagel store and you see a person or a really pretty girl or a cute guy, whatever it is, okay, and you see them and you go back 2 weeks later, you're gonna remember their face.
Yeah.
right.
Like, you don't meet someone and forget. Like,
Yeah.
it's like I think people forget that. Like your favorite artists are gonna get to know you if you're meeting them
Mhm.
time and time again, and they're gonna remember you.
Yeah.
So like,
Mhm.
why would you like jeopardize that? Like and like say things online that like
Mhm.
have your face plastered all over. Not that like a burner account was any better, but like especially if your
Yeah.
face is plastered all over your account and you've met them and you know the artist is active on socials. It's just like
Yeah. Or
Mhm.
also just being mean to other fans, not even, like, to the artist, just to other fans, like, I
they
don't
see
under
it. They
Yeah.
Yeah.
see it. They for sure see it. That is one thing I have learned. I mean, they see it. They see everything. They
Mhm.
Mhm.
know, even if they don't know you in person, they
Yeah.
know who, like big accounts on Twitter are. Because at the end of the day, like having stan accounts is free marketing. It's
It
user
is.
generated
It
content. And
is.
it's a crazy concept that people don't realize. Like you're involved in their marketing, like without
Mhm.
realizing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Motion is marketing and they generate so much user generated content. Like when artists like selfies for or spin in, whatever it is, like however they decide to, word that. But
Yeah.
literally marketing and don't think that like a tweet that's at the top of a hashtag with 2K likes as opposed to one that has 400 isn't being seen by the artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People
That's
see it.
very true. Yeah.
They see
Yeah.
everything. Like artists see everything and I've had them tell me that firsthand. Um and like I've heard it secondhand, I guess, like from other people, about like scenarios that I would never have thought like they would have seen,
Mhm.
but they see it.
Yeah.
So like take it with a grain of salt, but like people need to be more careful with what they post online, especially if you're like aiming to like cook a little bit and form a recipe
Yeah.
with this individual. Like,
A little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, like if you really put enough work into it, you could do it, but it's not going to
Mhm.
be authentic. You're gonna
Yeah.
be putting on like
Yeah.
a front to like make this person like you, and they're gonna
Mhm.
come to realize that like you're not actually what you're portraying yourself as.
Mhm.
like this false perception, they're gonna realize it, or like you're gonna realize that the artist isn't what you thought because you've showed them an inauthentic version of yourself.
Yeah.
Right, that's true.
It's
I
like,
also think that's why, like, a lot of the bigger fans, whatever, who get more interactions, like, relate to one another and, like, are, like, similar people because at the end of the day, like, speaking of Madison, like, she sees the qualities that everyone has that she likes, that she also possesses, so, like, that's what
Yeah.
attracts everyone. Um,
right.
so yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I think
she wouldn't be friends with a bully because she doesn't
right.
like bullies, neither do
Right.
I. Like, hence
Mhm.
why we're all friends, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tying this all together, I think the last question I have would be what is your like number one marketing tip for anyone that's listening to this right now that either is trying to get into marketing themselves or they're like an influencer or a creator or whatever and want to like get their work out there more?
The number one tip I give to literally everyone is your perception online is bigger than your resume on paper.
Mm-hmm.
The way
Mm,
your Instagram feed looks might not sound that serious, but it takes 3 seconds to look at that and figure out if you're worthy or not. And reading a resume takes like 10 minutes. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's like, especially if you want to work in marketing and you want to work in influencer marketing, especially. I mean,
Yeah.
your Instagram feed is way more important than your resume. And I think that there's like this like joke that's like when you're applying to college is like don't post with alcohol. That stands like for a very long time. Um job applicants or employers, I guess, like things like that. Like those are things that you need to take into consideration when you're posting things like using vulgar words like in your captions, like especially when you want to work in creative marketing or social media, they're never going to hire you.
Yeah.
They will never hire you. And I've learned that the hard way. Like I have learned that the hard way. Um, the way you portray yourself on socials is like very, very important. And people forget that all the time. Like
Mm-hmm.
posting yourself doing stupid shit on your Instagram story, put it on your close friends, put it on your private story
mm,
on Snapchat. Like the world does not need to see every aspect of you.
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like that is just something that like I learned through like going to events with Alexa and like having the corporate team follow me and like going to drinks with these people and you know coming off professionally is like something that I take pride in because obviously you guys have never seen me like at an actual event, but like you know me enough to know that
mm,
I am professional in the world that I'm in and through all this
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
drama and through all of the concert camping and whatever it is, like that was like rooted in marketing without realizing that it was.
Yeah.
Um
Mhm.
and I feel like it kind of like gave me a stepping stool for corporate marketing. And marketing is very subjective. So like whether you want to work in like beauty or fashion, whatever it is, like if you want to work in beauty marketing, you better show that on your Instagram feed without like posting it. Like
Yeah.
there are just ways to like prove that you know what you're doing
Yeah,
and not be posting at a frat party every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Like I can go out and post pictures of going out, but it ends up on my close friends more than it ends up on my grid or my story
Mm.
because you might not think you have eyes, but you have eyes. And a lot of these corporate people have access to Meta and have access to your archive stories and things that are not there anymore. And have access to deleted tweets and things that you think are no longer up. Um, so privating your account does not do anything. Only
Yeah.
thing
The digital footprint is
it,
real.
it is
So
so
real.
real. People think it's not real. It is so real. I have literally experienced people tweeting things and having the tweet printed out and put on their desk. I mean, like, if you're gonna work in marketing, be smarter about the way you're perceived online because it's
Yeah.
everything. And all it takes is one brand rep doing a single Stan Twitter research, because I promise you, all of the Gen Zers who were on Stan Twitter are now working in marketing and working in the industry, whether or not you think it's true. Almost every
Yeah.
I have met with has been like, oh my God, I was on Stan Twitter. Like I went for drinks with the other day, and they
Mhm.
took me to the Ritz-Carlton and talked about potentially hiring me. And two of the girls that I went with
Mhm.
talked about like how they were on Stan Twitter. And it's like that is a very normal thing to do as long as you play your cards right.
Oh,
Honestly, Stan
100%.
Twitter got me to where I am today.
For
Like, I don't think I
sure.
would be doing what I'm doing right now
100%.
without Stan Twitter.
Nope, agree with you 100%. I wouldn't have any of the connections I have today. I wouldn't know right from wrong. I wouldn't know how to talk to people. I wouldn't have people skills. I wouldn't have networking skills. I don't think I would know how to like converse with like VIPs and
Mhm.
influencers. Um, like my boss Alexa trusts me to take me to events and knows that like I'm going to be professional and
Yeah.
best representation of her, because this hair is bothering me. Thank God. Knows that I'm going to be the best representation of her because I did it for myself online.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's something that people forget. Like your bullying digital footprint on Madison Beer Stand Twitter is not going to get you employed in about 5 years from now. It's not. People want to run around and be a bully online and think that it's cute and funny, but when it comes to brands and brand reps and people like me, when those people who have not been so nice to me, don't realize that they're talking to me, I can get
Mhm.
blacklisted from like so many PR lists, and like have a lot of friends
Mhm.
who work in PR and have put a lot of my friends on them and can take them off just as easily.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's like this ongoing joke that like my friend Carly will say is like, I would never want to be on Zoe Mevorah's bad side. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, that's
It's
that.
also so crazy because you are so young, but like you just compose yourself so well and you
Thank
like
you.
obviously know a lot, but wow, that is very crazy.
I
Yeah.
thank
Good
you.
for
That means a lot.
you. Also, you're beautiful and your blush always does slay. Oh my God.
Stop,
Yes.
guys. Stop. I need to like do an in-depth tutorial, but I feel like
100%.
I like go to do it and I'm like, this isn't gonna do it. I'm deleting it.
No,
But
I
Oh
feel
girl, I
you.
do it all the time. I do that all the time. And then I just like talk to myself and pretend like with no camera around. I'm like, hey guys, so
brilliant. Well, thank you guys
oh,
for having me. This is
Of
so fun.
course, Lauren, you want to ask
thank
the last
you for being
question?
here. Oh yes, our last question, which we ask every guest. Obviously our show is called That's So Us. So if someone were to like, I don't know, like look at your Instagram or just look at you, what would you say is something that they would say, oh my gosh, that's so Zoe.
I already have an answer. I already know what
I
I
do
would
too.
say.
Really.
Guys, should we all say it on
Can we
three?
say it? Okay,
I'm
okay.
scared. Okay.
It's fine if it's different, but one,
Okay.
two,
Okay,
road.
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 Road and Matilda Jerf. I think that's how you
Sure.
say it.
I was
Yes.
gonna say that
Those
too.
two.
Yes.
Wait, that's
Well,
so funny.
I love that brand so like seriously,
I
they
love
have
Road.
like people think
Like,
that I have like wait, don't want to play this game. This is not a fun game to play because it's not funny.
no, literally so good. And they
Wait,
have her
you guys, I
little
haven't even
Guys,
tried
it's not
it.
funny.
her little thing.
Wait, guys, it's literally not funny. Did you see how many of those are just spilled everywhere? Like it's
Literally.
not
It's
it's
so
not normal.
good.
Wait, it's not normal, guys. It's not normal. I have so
Zoe,
many.
send me some. I don't
Babe,
have one.
I can't. I have so many.
Send me your your use.
No, like you can have salty tan that's almost out.
Okay, thank
Um,
you.
but it's so much deeper than that. Like their team has just been so good to me, and like I met them at their New York City pop-up, and that kind of like again ties in with like the way you present yourself is everything, and you never know when there's going to be like a job opportunity. I'm like collecting all the
Yeah.
things I threw on the floor. Um, you never know. Like seriously, you never know. Her social team like saw me. Sorry, I'm grabbing that off the floor. And they were like, "Wait, you're a genius. What's your address? Like, I'm sending you product." And sent me a huge PR box of their new drop, and then I took it to Greece and they asked me to take content for them. And like that is a piece of like work that will live on my resume forever
Mm-hmm.
and is a
Mhm.
very, very, very valued brand. Like
Yeah.
They are so good to me. I um was talking to them about an internship, but they're LA based, which is like so frustrating, but they're very, very good to me. Like I had texted one of their team people and I was like, "Do you guys have this poster?" It's on my wall. I'll show you. It's like the blush poster that
That's
went
cute.
like with their PR boxes. And I have like two of their PR boxes like in my room that I just like cherish forever. And they were like, "Oh my God, yeah." Like they're very, very good to me. And I'll never ask for a free product like ever. I literally said I would pay for shipping for the poster. Like, please, they didn't give a fuck. But like, it's just like as much as that's like so me, it's so much deeper than
Mhm.
the products. Like I never even stand Justin or Haley. Like I literally just followed Haley like 5 months ago. It's not that.
Mhm.
Like I value their creative direction. I think their marketing is amazing. I think things like that
Yeah.
wire my brain and like that is a team
Mhm.
that like I would love to be on. Um and I truthfully think that like I have so many ideas for them that would like benefit them that like have stemmed from like seeing what they do. Um,
Right. Mhm.
I feel like they've wired my brain to like understand marketing differently. So like visually, Road is very me, but like mentally and like marketing wise, they are the most me creatively that I could even think of. Like things they post, I'm like, holy shit, if I was in a room full of their marketing team, I would have thought of that.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
like people are like, I wish I would have thought of that. I'm like, no, I'm 110% confident that I would have thought of that if I was in the room and the creative juice
Mhm.
was flowing. Like
Yeah.
I have so many things for them that like I could just see like doing well. And yeah, I mean, like I said, visually they're so like so me, but like
Mhm.
they are so me. And I love
I
that.
love
But
that.
I'm glad that
Love
everyone
that.
everyone thinks of me. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you work for them?" I'm like, girl, I fucking wish I could. I'm like, no, I just like have a very aesthetic eye and they've sent me product and I have posted for them. Like that's really just
Yeah.
it. I have I helped curate a carousel over the summer when their peptides dropped. I can send you guys a link to it, but yeah, they're great. And like honestly, their team is like some of the nicest people. Like after they had given me those products, I got home from Greece to an even bigger box that I like opened on
Oh.
like on TikTok and they're just like, oh my God, they're the sweetest people ever. And I'm sure Haley is an amazing boss and has amazing visions, but I really like I would give that brand a kidney if they asked for it.
I love
Wait,
that.
that's so cute. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing all this with us. Yeah. We're so awkward when we end the episodes.
I know we really are, but
No, no,
thank
no,
you.
don't worry. We're just gonna like group kiss.
And we love you.
Yes.
Love you
Wow.
guys. Talk soon.
Bye.
Bye.